That silly ring, it wasn't meant to be. Luckily I saw in me something I couldn't see. Honeybee, I can't imagine how my life would be if all your gravity did not hit me. Oh, don't you see, darling, my honeybee.
But here we are, after all the misses and confessions to the stars that we never really owned as ours. And if our world comes tumbling down, I never could forgive myself for leaving out. You're the one, you are the only one.
Such a fool, I took your love and I bent all the rules. You took the blow and didn't let it show. Stuck around to let me know. Built a family of our own. Look around, we made a garden of the love we found. So many reasons I would fight to stay. You're the courage when I fade. Take a look at what we've made.
But here we are, after all the misses and confessions to the scars that we never really owned as ours. And if our world comes tumbling down, I never could forgive myself for leaving out. You're the one, you are the only one. Won't you decide? Won't you decide? I want you to soar. Don't doubt anymore.
Little by little we meet 'em.
Won't you decide? Won't you
I hope you
decide?
can hear me. I needed you.
I want you to
You saved my life.
Don't doubt
Let's keep
anymore.
this between you and I.
And if our world comes tumbling down, I never could forgive myself for leaving out. And if our world comes tumbling down, I never could forgive myself for leaving out. You're the one, you are the only one. And if our world comes tumbling down, I never could forgive myself for leaving out. You're the one,
You are the only one.
6 are so short. They're so tall. Oh, cute. It was.
Honeybee, could you imagine where our lives would lead? That silly ring, it wasn't meant to be. Luckily I saw in me something I couldn't see. Honeybee, I can't imagine how my life would be if all your gravity did not hit me. Oh, don't you see, darling, my honeybee.
but here we are, after all the misses and confessions to the stars that we never really owned as ours. And if our world comes tumbling down, I never could forgive myself for leaving out. You're the one,
my name is Stephanie Zong,
And Lily Jane Gibson.
and we are sixth graders. So before fall break and global cultures, we defined and discussed culture and identity and how each communities have different cultures, and to know and understand different features of place. So Mrs. Sims, our global cultures teacher, told us over fall break to create a small 5 to 10-second dancing video, anywhere from your own room in your house to dancing halfway across the globe. And she would create a video project of us dancing to express our unique and special heritage, and how even though we're so different and have so many perspectives of the world by ourselves, we create such a beautiful community together.
Hi, my name is Lily Jane Gibson, and we're going to tell y'all about a video the sixth graders made in Global Cultures. We made this video because we watched a guy named Matt Harding dance around the world with different people in different places. In the background, you can see the different people and their cultures. You can see the way they dress and how they act. We thought this was pretty cool, so Miss Sims, our Global Cultures teacher, told us to create our own video at our house during fall break. When we came back to school, Miss Sims helped us create a video as a class together. In this video, you will see students dancing with teachers and other classmates. This will also show our different backgrounds and how we grew up. We hope you'll enjoy this video.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Maggie Parsley, this year's editor-in-chief of Calliope, and I'm here to announce 2 things. So first, as a reminder, we are currently accepting submissions. Please email those to calliope@gps.edu. And secondly, this Thursday, the 29th, we are hosting a writing workshop in Ms. Dix's room during lunch. Go get your food and then come in at 11:35 to work. We will have a writing activity for you, but you can also just come in and work on your creative writing or poetry during this time. I hope to see you all there, and good luck, Mia.
Good afternoon, girls. I just have a few quick announcements. Just remember, tomorrow is not a Wee Wednesday. We have a normal schedule, kind of normal. You are going to your Thursday classes tomorrow, so D, C, B, A. And then also costumes, Thursday, right? So you can wear costumes on Thursday. You can also dress down if you'd like. We encourage you to wear costumes, though, so that you can get your bruisable points or your black, blue, and white points. That is all I have for announcements. So now I'd like to welcome Benjamin and Jacob Hammonds, who will introduce their sister and our chapel speaker, Mia Hammonds.
All right, so when Mia asked me to introduce her for her chapel talk, she explained that it was customary for a sibling or a close friend to do so, and so I was, of course, honored. Then I started thinking about it. I was like, are you sure? See, I went off to college when Mia was 9, so our shared life at home was unfortunately limited to those 9 years. However, during those 9 years, I was able to accumulate plenty of dirt on her and was perplexed that she now wanted me to have a platform. But she reassured me that it was fine, and so I jumped at the opportunity to come here, visit for a few days, and introduce her. So I'm sitting on the plane, and I'm thinking about what I can say. I realize there's a few different directions that I can go with this introduction. I could touch on the fact that as a toddler, Mia attended my soccer games dressed out in cute, frilly dresses, complemented with a thick gold chain and a 6-inch dollar sign hanging around her neck. And when asked about this tasteful ensemble, she would reply, as you would expect a 4-year-old girl to do so, by saying, "That's my chain, fool." There's a photo of that in the lobby if you care to check that out afterwards. Or how a few years post-chain, she would insist on praying before meals, but instead of actually, thanking God for all the blessings in her life, she'd launch into a monologue about her previous life, where she lived in a pink house in South Africa and was married to Chris Angel, the magician. If you guys don't know, you look it up. So, I was thinking I could share these embarrassing details about her, but rather, I thought I'd point out how proud I am of Mia. It's certainly not ideal to be 8.5 years older than your sibling. You miss out on a lot of life. However, you do have the unique perspective to see her grow up and have memories of Mia's entire life. And I'm constantly impressed by the person that she is. I'm even more excited to see the person that she is to become. I'm sure she has a great talk planned for y'all, but before Mia comes out, I'd like to pass it off to our brother Jacob, who's made a video.
Hey, GPS faculty and students, this is Jacob. I am Mia's brother. I cannot be here today, and I really wish that I could, but I am here to inform you that my sister has an amazing chapel talk prepared for you guys, and really looking forward to hearing what she has to say, and she's a genius, so whatever she's going to say for you guys today, I'm sure will be worth listening to. So here's Amelia Hammonds.
Thank you for that, Benjamin and Jacob. Until I found hopscotch, antique stores were an inconvenience at best and at worst, one of my least favorite things. Following the grueling challenges of preschool, I would sit strapped in the back seat of my mom's car, subjected to going wherever she wanted. She often wanted to go to the antique store. I often wanted to go anywhere else. When in the antique stores, I would mope on the floor,
playing with some unimportant toy or book until my mother was finished browsing the shelves, or until boredom got the best of me and I went to go bother her into leaving early. Sometimes I was able to bring a friend to subject to the time spent in antique stores, and Morgan would come along with me. And instead of sitting on the floor, we would lurk through stores together, looking for hiding places and pointing out creepy dolls and old stuffed animals that irked us out as we saw fit. They were less boring with a friend, but nonetheless an endeavor I dreaded. Then, one day, while my mom was looking through some old clothes in the other half of the store, I spotted possibly the best thing I could have found. 3 feet long, insanely fuzzy, infinitely wise, and probably reeking of mothballs, a giant stuffed rabbit sat on one of the bottom shelves eye level, and I had to have it. Graciously, my mom let me take her home, and in a burst of creativity, I called her Hopscotch. And then antique stores were different. The new world I lived in was one where antique stores looked more like treasure hunts and makeshift forts. The old garbage became fascinating, and some stores even had a secret floor that could be reached by climbing a set of often hidden and always rickety stairs to where the best things could be found. Throughout elementary school, the Grapevine Antique Market was where we went most often, and though I was reluctant, it eventually became my place. It was where I got my first and last xylophone, where I learned how to play the guitar by watching my brother Jacob strum on the ones for sale in the loft, and where I learned how to dial a rotary phone. It was also where I began collecting, and where I learned to be incredibly sentimental through precious moments dolls and old journals. I also found my first Kentucky Derby mint julep glass there, and consequently began my collection, which I no longer know the exact quantity of, but if you spend any time at my house, you'll surely be offered iced tea and a glass with Derby winners listed going back to 1975, ending whichever year the glass was issued. In my memory, the Grapevine Antique Mall is functionally a fortress, a massive 2-story building with a toy train track running through the railing of the second floor. In the back left, massive flags hung from the walls, and I would stare at them from below, confronted for the first time in my short little life by the idea of something bigger than myself. I remember the antique mall and the kind man who always seemed to be working behind the desk with a specific sort of clarity, and I often wonder if it would be worth it to go back sometime and take it all in. Or would the enormity of the flags, the weirdness of the vases, and the joy I felt when we picked up my xylophone be spoiled by the person I am now and the experience I've gained in the years since I've been there? I don't know, and I'll probably tackle that crisis later. When Jacob went to college around 45 minutes away, I got to meet new antique stores. I would wander through the streets of Denton, go with Jacob into the used bookstore on the corner, or pop into little shops along the way as we walked through the square. We didn't often buy anything, but the hours spent wading through stacks of books and tchotchkes, stopping for wings and fries along the way, were one of my favorite ways to spend a weekend, and I miss it all the time. In Belton, where Benjamin's alma mater is, lives a main player in the development of my obsession with collecting prints. Through that store, my main antiquing objective evolved from wasting time looking for weird toys and handling breakable objects to hunting for art pieces to take home. From there, I began stockpiling paintings, magazine clippings, postcards, anything to add to my collection. However, I often ran into a roadblock. How was I supposed to choose between several pieces when they were all so fascinating and all needed to come home with me? In one such instance, I found myself with 2 prints in my hands, and Benjamin had given up on helping me evaluate my indecisiveness. In sticky situations like this one, I find it's always helpful to get an unbiased opinion. So I turned around, did a quick survey of the room, and found my target. I waved down the poor woman and asked her which of the 2 prints I was holding she preferred. She liked the snowy cabin scene more, and so I conceded my efforts and placed the other one back in its hiding spot and toted the victor back to my brother. We put it and a few other items in a bag and made our way back to campus to regroup and argue over where to get dinner. But I am no longer in middle school and no longer live within driving distance of either of my brothers or any of our old haunts. So, for the most part, I antique alone. It's an opportunity for me to, whenever needed, wander idly through the cramped aisles and messy stacks of breakable china. Sometimes I wonder about the likelihood of a little antique in Ringgold having the same set of glass bowls that we use to make cookie dough. But there they are, despite the chances. I'll sit on the floor with my back to a bookshelf, old painting in my left hand and my phone in my right, researching the artist, imagining that I am appraising the piece and deciding if it is worth the prestigious gallery of my bedroom wall. Beyond the general atmosphere of the store itself, I've had time to make new specific memories. It's when Morgan and Tracy came to visit last winter, and Morgan and I found an incredibly friendly orange and white cat sitting out front of the seed and feed barn. It's when Kendall, my mother, and I all go together and make jokes about the child-sized stuffed toys seated at an old dining table that hasn't sold in at least the whole time I've been going. It's the last time I went and discovered that the adjacent barn had a whole secret room filled with old signage that I had never seen before. And though we had to leave and I didn't have ample time to deliberate on which one of them was my favorite, I still have plans to go back and choose one. The Ringgold Seed and Feed isn't where I grew up, and it's not a place claimed or marked by any of my family, so it gets to be mine. This time of year, I can go immerse myself in the dust, and when the clerk wraps my newest mint julep in newspaper, we chat about the near-perfect weather and how I think the loft in the back is haunted. So, if you ever want to meet the ghost in Ringgold Seed and Feed Antiques, let me know, and I'd be happy to introduce you.
Pick me up and take me home.